This is just a quick movie to talk to you about how to structure folders and files in your project, and also just to open a document in Hype and show you a bit of the interface. So here's your Hype Workshop folder on the desktop, and this is the best way to organize your Hype project is you have your Hype file, which is the file that you're going to open in Hype, create your animations, actions, interactions in. You have a working files folder which will contain your Photoshop document and Photoshop documents for laying out scenes and creating assets, any original images that you used as source, that sort of thing. Obviously, what I've got in the working files here is not all the working files that I used for this project, just a couple to give you a sample. And then you have your assets folder, and the assets folder would contain all of the PNG documents that you're going to use in your Hype project, all the bits and pieces, as well as audio files that you're going to use for sound. So let's open up Night of Terror Final and take a look at the finished project that we're using as an example here. So I'm just double clicking that and it will open automatically in Hype. I'm just going to maximize it so it gives us the full amount of space. Another way, obviously, you can open things in Hype would be just to go File, Open, and navigate to the desktop, Hype Workshop, open up Night of Terror Final. So a couple of different ways of getting things open in Hype. Maximize it again. And I'm just going to quickly show you a few places in the interface. If your scenes are not showing, click on this button to show and hide scenes. Another important window to have open is the inspector window, or there's many different kinds of inspectors in this window. Actions inspector, the element inspector, the metrics inspector, they're all in there. If this window isn't open, you can open it by clicking on here, inspector. You also will probably need the resources window open, which is able to be opened from here, and this displays all of your assets that have been brought into Hype and are currently in use by the document. And so those two windows are important. I'm just going to close them at the moment so we can have a look at the interface. There's this button up here, the Elements button. This is just for creating basic shape elements. We're not really going to be dealing very much with the elements up here. We're really just going to be using it for shapes. Most of our elements are going to be PNG files, image files that we sort of drag onto the scene area in Hype, such as, this is an image file. Just going to Command Z to undo that move. The other place you're going to be spending a lot of time in is the timeline down here, which has some controls here for playing animations. And this is the time display here. It tells you how many seconds and frames the playhead is at. And here's the layers of elements that are in your scene and their corresponding timelines, which show you how they're animating. And we'll go into this in more detail. And this is the properties that are being animated for the selected element at any given time. So that pretty much gives you a bit of an overview of the Hype interface and opening documents. And I'm just going to show you one more thing. As I said, your Hype file is a working file. It's the file that you use to structure, test, work out your animations and your actions so that you can output the final file for your project. Now, the way this happens is once you've finished your constructing your Hype project, you would go File, Export as HTML5, Folder. I'm going to export my final Hype project into a new folder within Hype Workshop. So I'm going to create a new folder. It's going to be called Exported. And I'll just leave the name of the project as Night of Terror Final at the moment, which is the same name as my Hype project, and I hit save. And what this creates, if I go back to the Finder, this is your assignment that will be submitted. There's an HTML file here, which is what you open in the browser, and then a folder of assets, which is PNG files, audio files, and most importantly, a JavaScript file which contains all of the code which tells the browser how to animate your Hype project, when to cue sound, all that kind of thing. So let's just open this quickly in Safari to take a look at it. So this is the kind of thing that you'll be creating and what your tutors will expect to see. So, okay, so I'll let you have a look at that file by yourself, the exported Hype file, and I'll come back with the next video and start teaching you how to use the Hype interface.